So just last month, we have seen the three Singapore banks, DBS, UOB, and OCBC, right, pushing to highs, right, rebounding from their lows, by more than 20 to 30%. And over the past few weeks, it seems like we have kind of hit a bit of an obstacle, and there's not much of a movement, right? So a lot of people have asked me, Joey, what do you think about the banks, right? Is it, time to take profit for those who have gotten like the month before, all right, when it kind of was still at the lows, or is it time to, still continue to load up because the reversal can continue, right? So this is what will be covered in today's video. We'll talk about the three banks, DBS, OCBC, and UOB right now. So this is DBS right here as of the 9th of December 2020, about 3:20 p.m. It's trading live, alright, and the market right now for DBS, you can see that it's trading at about $25.40, right? So over the past 2 weeks, right, so we have been kind of like supported above this support at about $25. Look at this right up here, guys. Just about a month back, somewhere early of November, just before there were talks about investing, DBS was then about $21, $20. I mentioned about those really good support that one can start to accumulate on dips. I mentioned about this $19.50 to $20 kind of support. So it kind of rebounded. It broke that 22, went up all the way, and we did a video somewhere around here of more upside and probably a bit of profit taking as well, all right, around that $25. So but it seems like over the past 2 weeks we have broken that $25, all right, and it kind of headed to like 26, and it started to consolidate. Okay, so you can see that over the past 2 weeks, it's pretty much from like $25 to $26. So it's like a $1 range, right? So let me just go ahead to draw another resistance level right here at about that $26. I would say this would be the range as we head into the next 1 or 2 weeks. I would say 25 to 26. It seems like we're consolidating, and buyers are pretty much coming out to defend these $25, right? And look at the trend in terms of a change in the trend, right? In terms of the reversal, we have seen, I mentioned it in the previous video as well, we have seen this red line, which is the 100 days moving average, kind of cross over, right, above the 200 days moving average. So in terms of the trend, we're seeing some signs of strength in terms of a reversal from a downtrend to an uptrend for the mid to long term. All right, look at this right over here, right? So the red above the blue line is a good indication that the trend might have changed in terms of the mid to long term. All right, of course, the short term we started to push up when we broke that 21.50 somewhere in early November. Okay, but in terms of the green line, look at this. The green line is what we call the 20 days moving average, a short-term moving average, and is right here at that $25 as well, right? So it kind of like coincides with this $25 horizontal support level. And yeah, I think in the short term we still look okay above 25 to 26. We might consolidate here. Let me just go ahead to draw some upside targets, right? But I think you want to be careful if we do break down below that 25. So far, it seems like buyers are just coming back over the past 2 weeks to bargain hard, right? And that's a good sign, right? But if we do break below 25, just take note, we might see prices pushing lower, because look at this, right? The green line is the 20 days moving average right here. So if prices pushing back down below that green line, the short-term moving average, that's where we can see a bit of selling pressure. All right, it might potentially hit back to like what, 24, all right, near-term support as well. But right now it's looking good, right? So I might potentially consolidate from like 25 to 26, and hopefully, all right, we break that 26 to hit higher to the next resistance at about 27, and this level is key as well. Look at this, guys. We are pretty much back to the pandemic level right over here. You can see we have been holding since like 2019 May, all right, just below that $27. So yeah, we might attempt to kind of push towards 27, and that's where we can see some heavy profit taking as well. So it's good to take some profit as we hit towards that 27, all right, maybe even near that 26. I think 26 sellers are starting to come out, so you've got in near here. I think it's wise to also lock in some profits near 26. Maybe if it retraces back down to 25, you can kind of get in again for the rebound. All right, so this is DBS, right? Definitely a bit more positive, right? Compared to previously, you can see that the trend was still pretty much down, but right now there are definitely some signs of a good reversal happening or progressing. All right, I think if we stay above that, $25, that's a good sign that this stock is stable, all right, and might potentially consolidate and push higher. So guys, if you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. It will definitely help out the YouTube algorithm, right? Thank you so much for doing this, right? So let's get on to OCBC right now, right? So OCBC currently trading at about $10.07 right here. So we kind of push higher, right? Went to our target somewhere around the 1040, 1050, right? I mentioned about this really critical support turn resistance at about 1050. Look at this, right guys, 1050 we were pretty much holding above since like 20174, for about 3 years. We kind of broke down, all right, when the pandemic happened, all right, went all the way down, and right now you can see that over the past 2 weeks we kind of headed towards that 1040 to 1050, and some good heavy profit taking came back, which is normal, right? This is a very, very key resistance, right? So right now you can see a bit of support coming back as well right here around that $9 and I would say 90 cents, right? $9.90, 980, 990, I think about 990. A bit of support coming back. You can see over the past 1 to 2 weeks, we're seeing some bullish candles, right? With buyers coming back at the day end to kind of push prices back up. So 990 would be an immediate support level. That is where that 20 days moving average is as well. Let me just draw some upside rebound targets back towards that 1050, right? So this could be a potential rebound target back towards the 1050, and I think 1050 we might start to see a bit of profit taking again, right? So we might consolidate, I would say, below 1050 for a while, maybe over the next few months, before eventually attempting to break the 1050. And if we do lift off the 1050 level, that's a good sign. I would say that's where we can really see the reversal continue to like 11 to 1130. All right, that would be the upside. But right now I would say 1050 would be the immediate key resistance, right? So what about the trend in terms of a trend reversal? Same thing like DBS. Are there any signs of reversal? Yes, there are. Look at this right over here. The red line. All right. So for DBS, we have seen that the red 100 days moving average line have like crossed back above that blue line. So in terms of the mid to long term, it's looking positive. But in terms of for OCBC right here, you can see that this red line, right, is sloping upwards. And yeah, probably I think if you were to hold above that 990. This red line will eventually cross upwards above that 200 days moving average. But probably give it another 1 or 2 weeks if we kind of like hold above this 990. That's a good sign. Same thing, all right, like DBS, we might see in terms of a trend reversal from a down to a bit of sideways, and now potentially moving upwards. So kind of like progressing to an upward trend. Alright, so take note of this line right over here, the 100 days moving average, a potential crossover of the red line above the blue line. Alright, so short term wise, as I mentioned, 990, 980 would be a good support. I think we still look okay above this short term support level. Yeah, if we hold above, we might see a rebound back to 1050, right? So this is OCBC. Let's take note of the good support levels, and of course this major resistance at 1050. So finally guys, this is UOB right here, trading at about $22.88, right? So yeah, we kind of push higher, all right, headed towards our target at about $24. I mentioned about this critical resistance level, 24. Look at this, 24. We are pretty much trading just above it just before the pandemic last year, all right, at 24. We kind of broke down and it went all the way down. So right now you can see we kind of rebounded back to this 24 level. So it's a support turn resistance, and that's where some selling came back. All right, so kind of retrace from there over the past 2 to 3 weeks, but it's not all gloom and doom. Look at this, right? We managed to see a bit of support coming back, and this is where the 20 days moving average green line is as well. So it kind of looks a bit similar, all right, for the three banks, DBS and OCBC as well. You can see they are pretty much supported above these 20 days moving average. All of them have kind of hit a high, hit a target, a bit of resistance. They kind of retrace back down, and over the past 2 weeks, it's like this consolidating, all right, which is a good thing. I think we kind of like it's good to like see a bit of profit taking, retracing back down, finding a good support level that is higher than the previous support. So that's a good sign, right? So for UOB, it would be that $22.50, right? 22.40, 22.50. I think this is where we are seeing a bit of support. You can see buyers are starting to come back up, and that's where that 20 days moving average is as well. So anything above 22.40, I think it still looks quite okay for a good rebound to kind of retest this immediate resistance at that $24 right here. Okay, so in terms of a trend reversal, same thing. It looks a bit like OCBC, all right? This red line, it's kind of like, you know, sloping upwards, you know, a potential crossover, all right, above the 200 days moving average, and that's a good sign in terms of a trend reversal upwards continuing, right? So I think for those of you who want to accumulate on dips, you can also think about it, right, near that 2240, 2250. I think that's where if it holds above this level, you know, we can still see the reversal continue upwards. I'm not too sure, seriously, I'm not too sure whether it can, like, you know, go back all the way back down to like $19, right? I mean, previously I mentioned about this good support at like $19 to like $19.50. That's where it kind of rebounded from. So I'm really not too sure if we can actually go back down to those levels, because right now, you know, I mean, the reason why they have rebounded for the three banks was because of talks of the vaccine, right? There's a lot of hopes, and that's where people kind of rode on it, all right? So I think things will get better in terms of the whole pandemic, all right, going as we go forward into 2021. So we might see a bit of hope, a bit of strength coming back, especially once they roll out the vaccine, and, you know, step by step, many of the countries, many of the people in the countries get vaccinated as well around the world. Okay, so yeah, this will be the immediate support for UOB at about 2240 to 2250. We might see it consolidate before attempting to break that $24. All right, so if it does break that 24, yes, it's pretty much back to, you know, pre-pandemic levels. Right, let me just go ahead to draw another resistance right here. You can see for the whole of last year, we are pretty much trading below that $27. So yeah, if that 24 were to give way, we might start to attempt to push higher to like 25 and even higher. But right now, this would be the upside potential rebound towards that $24. Right, so this is UOB. I hope you have taken note of the levels for DBS, OCBC as well. So yes, if you like this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you have not done so that you will not miss videos like this, right? So yeah, that's it, right? Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to see you in the next video.